Social Security is one of the biggest retirement decisions you'll ever make, and one of the few choices in retirement that you can't easily undo. If you claim too early, it can cost you tens of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. If you claim too late, you may miss strategic tax windows and planning opportunities you didn't realize existed. Today, I'm going to walk you through the exact framework I use with families to help them avoid regret, maximize their lifetime income, and make a confident, well-informed timing decision. Today on Financial Fast Track with Tod Long.
You are moments away from finally getting the inside track on finance.
You've saved, you've done all the preparation, but when it's time to execute, you have to shift from preparing to performing.
This is the Financial Fast Track with Tod Long.
What we're going to do is take the guesswork out of financial planning for you.
Making more momentum with your money.
Financial Fast Track with Tod Long is on the air, and we welcome you. I'm Jackie Selby, and I'm here with Tod Long, oddly enough. Tod, how's it going?
It's going good. How about yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. I just want to let everyone know we're going to talk about finances, your personal finances, your retirement, and it's all part of Long Financial Services, which is Tod's firm.
Yes.
And boy, there's so much weird stuff going on right now. Did you see this thing with Doritos?
No, I did not. What is the Dorito story?
Okay. They're owned by PepsiCo.
Right. I knew that. Yeah.
And the president of PepsiCo says that he will make some changes because I guess they have some big investor that's into health food. So by the end of 2026, they're going to take out that weird orange stuff that makes your fingers turn orange when you eat Cheetos and Doritos.
Interesting.
Gee, thanks.
Will it modify the taste?
I don't know. That's what they're worried about. So they're working on that for a whole year. Then they're going to have Pepsi Prebiotic. They're going to have a prebiotic Pepsi product.
Yeah, I'll pass on that.
What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's good probiotics are pretty good for you, but I don't know that I'd do a Pepsi version of it.
Well, they're sticking Pepsi. It's just like, you
Yeah.
know,
No.
6-7, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I don't know. I thought that was the weirdest thing I read all week.
Well, I'm in the entertainment, so
Yeah.
What do you think about Netflix buying Warner Brothers?
This is
I'm not a fan of it.
not going to be cool. And
Not at all.
The union. I used to be a member of the ASCAP, union and the performers union, and they're not happy about it
Yeah.
because this is going to narrow the opportunities for the workers, you
Yeah.
know, and they're going to say, oh, well, you already work here. Let's have you work on this script. You know, it's just toning it down, and the writers and performers it's not great for them.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be great for consumers either, because if right now I have, obviously I'm like everybody else, tons of apps to watch whatever I want, right?
Yes.
And HBO or HBO Max, I should say, is one of the premier apps I go to for some good prestige type TV. Mm-hmm. You said marketing spin, it got me. Prestige TV, you go to HBO Max, right?
Right. Well, they
but
merged,
Netflix,
right? HBO and Max.
Well, yeah, but HBO. I mean, they've always been Warner Brothers.
Right.
Yeah, there was always Warner Brothers though.
All right.
The problem that I'm going to see, at least I think it's going to see, what happened?
No, that's what I'm thinking. That's got to. It's going to water it down.
It's going to water it down, and then you go to Netflix. Netflix is not. I didn't like the Discovery merger either, by the way.
I know.
Because I'm like, why I'm going to be going to the HBO app trying to watch Game of Thrones, and I see Shark Week stuff.
NO on that. NO.
What am I doing here? Mm-hmm. What? And I know Netflix is going to water it down anyway. And I go to Netflix for other shows, like binge-worthy type shows, whatever it is. Not for, again, prestige TV. I want to watch Sunday night. I go to HBO for it. Mm-hmm. I don't watch Netflix for it. I don't know that I'm going to like this at all.
No, I don't think so either. And to me, it's just hearkening back to, I know we're going to talk about finances, but this is, I promise I'll get to the point. But this is kind of goes back to when they were breaking up AT&T as a monopoly. And they broke it up into the baby bells, right? Southern Bell, Midwestern Bell, Mountain Bell, all these, because AT&T was a monopoly. Don't you think that this sniffs of monopoly over these TV networks?
I believe so. And I think, I don't know how the Justice Department or whoever, FTC, is going to view this.
Me neither.
But it is absolutely going to start to be a monopoly. You already see ABC is doing it. I mean, not ABC, I should say Disney.
Disney, ABC,
owning
ESPN.
Owning ESPN,
Right.
Hulu. They're getting rid of all these apps, and everything is going to be consolidated into Disney Plus, which again, that's an app I like, but for specific things. Of course, I'm a Marvel's fan, so all that stuff. I like Star Wars stuff, so all it's there. And Hulu has some pretty good content as well, but I can keep them separate, and I don't want Disney to continue to gobble up. They already gobbled up Fox, which I think was a good thing from a Marvel's perspective, but. All the content they have now. So if they did that, who's to say they're not going to do some others? Right.
Ooh.
And I think this is Warner Brothers is one of the oldest studios in Hollywood.
Right. Yeah.
And now it got gobbled up by Netflix, who took out Blockbuster, who's now a big major player in entertainment in general.
I don't know. Netflix is I hate to be this way, but it's just not the nicest stuff on there.
Well, it used to be pretty good. Now it's getting watered down because everything can go on Netflix.
Okay.
Every piece of content. And of course, there's a lot of people who like foreign shows, but for me, if I got to read subtitles, I'm gonna go to sleep.
I know, me too. I can't. I'm sorry, my brain is not that fast. It doesn't I'd like to see the visual and hear the audio.
I just want to relax in the chair, watch a little TV, and just see stuff instead of I got to see it and read it. See it and read it. It's like, it's too much for me to do.
I know. What do you say? Can we rewind that?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Oh, that's silliness. Well, I thought we could talk about that. I'm glad we did. We really, really need to talk about everyone retiring at once. We're still in the peak 65, aren't we, with 15,000 people every single day or something like that, turning 65 years old for the next couple of years still.
Yeah.
Because that's the end of the baby boomers, a couple more years, and the beginning of Gen Xers.
Gen Xer, yeah.
They're coming hot, right behind, right?
Yeah.
Born in 1965, that's supposedly Gen X. Well, guess who's going to be retiring in a couple of years? All of those.
Oh, those.
Yeah. So what about this Social Security claiming? Should we talk about Social Security? I know it might sound simple because you talk to your, Uncle Bob or the lady that, lives next door and you're watering the roses. And next thing you know, she's giving you advice on what she did for her Social Security strategy. So just pick an age, turn it on. There's no consequences.
Yeah. I actually, the most common phrase I actually hear is like, I'm going to take it at 62 because I want to get something out of the system before it disappears. Because my neighbor said it. My barber said it.
Yes.
The clerk at the grocery store said it.
Right.
That mindset is rooted in technically is fear, right? It's not strategy. Claiming at 62 locks in a 25 to 30% permanent reduction for the rest of your life. And it doesn't just reduce your income. It can actually reduce your spouse's income later on as well. Social Security isn't, disappearing, but the risk of living a long life with too little guaranteed income is a very real risk that people have to really understand.
Now that you never make it up?
No. Well, no, not at all.
There's no crossover point. If I claim at 62, I'm going to get 20% to 30% less than I
25.
would forever?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no way to claim all that money then?
No.
Ding dong.
You just made that commitment to have reduced income permanently. Now, there is a small window of opportunity to make a change, but you have 12 months to do that once you initially file for your Social Security.
So there's one mulligan.
One mulligan. And it's a very small window. Like I said, a lot of people do file. Let's say I'm going to file at 62 and get my whatever money I get. And they learn all this stuff in the 11th month. You have technically 1 month to make an adjustment at that point. And people usually don't understand that because they don't really fully understand Social Security. That's one of the reasons why we're talking about it today. And so they just file because the neighbor said it, the cousin said it, my uncle said it. That's what they did. So I'm gonna do it too. Now, your situation is very unique. So you need a specified Social Security timing window to be able to file and file appropriately for you.
Well, that's what we need you for. I'm glad that you understand the the metrics of all of this, 888-548-0409. Call Todd and ask him about what you think your strategy is going to be for your Social Security claiming. We're going to talk about another very interesting point, longevity, in the next segment. But again, Todd's number is 888-548-0409. And a quick plug, we've posted the shows we've done together so far. Gosh, darn it, it must be 9 shows?
Yeah,
We're getting there.
I've lost count, yeah.
We're getting close to 10.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you want to hear all of them, there are specific subject matters like Roth conversions and life insurance and annuities and things of this nature. You can go to financialfasttrackradio.com, financialfasttrackradio.com. Well, I've kind of cut you short here on this one, Todd.
That's okay. Not a problem. If you're listening right now and thinking, I don't know if I'm choosing the right filing age, or I'm not sure how this affects my spouse, or even, I didn't know Social Security timing affects taxes and long-term income, or I need help filing. This is your chance to get clarity. For the next 10 calls, we're going to offer a Social Security timing review where we will identify your optimal filing age, compare lifetime income differences between claiming ages, evaluate survivor and spousal benefit impacts, show how timing affects your tax planning and RMD exposure, reveal how to use your pre-Social Security tax window strategically. This review gives you the clarity and confidence you need to make one of the most important retirement decisions of your life. So, Jackie, tell the listeners how to get in one of these spots.
And he's serious about throughout your whole life. One of your most important decisions is going to be this. 888-548-0409, 888-548-0409. Don't leave us here on Financial Fast Track with Tod Long. Be right back.
Tired of financial jargon that leaves you feeling confused? At Long Financial Services, Tod Long offers clear, straightforward advice about your retirement. Understand your strategies, regain control, and get peace of mind knowing exactly where you stand. Call 888-548-0409. Again, that's 888-548-0409.
Essentially, we're talking about the foundations of Social Security timing and claiming, etc. Here on the show, Financial Fast Track with Tod Long, who has not been out on the fast track because of the weather. I found out last week that you're a perfect weather runner nowadays.
Nowadays, yes. I don't get paid for it, or I don't get an education for it. So I'm not going to go out in the cold weather or rainy weather or snowy weather that I've been in the past to go and run. Only hot weather for me.
I would have done anything not to run in hot weather. I fall over dead, though. I get easily, as my mother would say, I get easily, I don't know, what did she call it? Anyway, my face turns red and I just stop.
Right.
Overwhelmed by the heat and humidity.
Right. Well, I grew up in this area, so I'm comfortable with it.
Right. I guess that's fair. And you did a whole lot of that, doing your career at as a Sooner.
Yes.
Who
made the college playoffs this year, which is good.
That is good.
Yeah.
So are we in a bowl?
Well, no, they're going to play home against Alabama. I think they should be playing right now. It's this weekend. Gosh. It's actually on the 20th, I believe.
Oh my gosh. My boss, he sent his kid down to Alabama.
Oh yeah?
So yeah, she's in her sophomore year down there. He was going to send her to a northern school, but he didn't want her getting involved in northern politics. Isn't that funny?
That is.
It's like, you're going to Bama. So down she went. All right. This whole thing about Social Security. Now, you're the expert, and you can talk to people about the potential pitfalls of claiming too soon. And life expectancy. I want to talk to you about that. How does life expectancy change the math when you go to file? Because most people think, well, I just want to get it while I can, as we discussed in the last segment, or I'm going to do what my sister or brother did.
Right. So you're talking about longevity.
How does life expectancy affect the math?
Yeah. So if really is delaying worth it? So there's usually what these folks are trying to do is find what that break-even point. I think you probably mentioned it earlier. So mathematically, delaying benefits typically surpasses early claiming in total lifetime income around the age 78 to 80 years old.
Okay.
So yeah, most retirees today live well beyond that though. And for families with longevity in their genes, delaying can add tens of thousands of dollars over their retirement lifespan. So in other words, delaying Social Security isn't about waiting. It's about optimizing income for the longest stage in your life, which is the latter part of your retirement journey.
I see. Now, Todd, what do you say to somebody who worries that they won't live long enough? What if you have a client who maybe the husband or the wife is in poor health now?
Mm-hmm. Well, then you got to look at your spousal benefits, right? So if you're in bad shape, understandable, things are going to happen. So start to look for, how's this Social Security benefit going to benefit my spouse once I'm passed, which is called survivor benefits.
Survivor benefits. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of the most overlooked aspects of Social Security. How it works is that the highest earner becomes a surviving spouse's benefit. So if you were to pass away and you make $3,000 a month and she makes $2,000 a month or whatever, vice versa, then that $2,000 is what's going to stay around and stick around. So even when you are in a situation where you may not last as long, you got to start to think about your survivors after you. What are you going to do for them when you pass? Uh-huh. If you were to file at 62 because you're just want to get the money or whatever it may be, again, going back to that statement I just made, 25 to 30% reduction in permanent benefits, that parlays right into your spousal benefit as well, or your survivor benefit.
Okay.
So if you take that reduction, they're going to have that reduction too.
Uh-oh. So maybe the person with the highest income continues working? Is that what you're getting at?
No, not necessarily. So because if the person who has the highest proposed benefit, again, $3,000, whatever it may be, Social Security benefit, yeah. Mm-hmm. And if they are retired, let's call them they're 65, 67, whatever that age is.
All right.
And somebody passes away in that family or that marriage, the survivor gets whatever, if it's higher, that other spouse's benefit the rest of their life. So if the spouse was getting $2,000 and the one that passed was getting $3,000, the spouse that is surviving will get $3,000 now.
Oh, good.
However,
not
if
both,
you guys
though.
no, we won't get both. You'll get one or the other. You get the highest of the two. But let's say, for instance, this person at 67, they passed away, but they started taking it at 62 at $3,000, right? That's a 20 to 30% reduction. If they'd waited till 67, 66, 64, they'll get more money. So the longer you wait, you'll get more benefit. And that benefit helps your spouse or survivor, of course, if it's higher than theirs, long term. So that's why it's important to understand the timing aspect, your mortality rates, all those things are we talk about in these reviews to really determine what can happen, what you can get, when you should file, what happens if you pass away, how much would your spousal or your survivor benefit be? We explain all that stuff when we do these reviews.
Oh, good. Well, you can get your fast track review with Tod Long. Use this number and say, I got to talk to you about my Social Security. 888-548-0409. 888-548-0409. All right. Now we're kind of understanding a little bit about the timing of it. Is it, I just want to ask you a simple mechanics question. You're saying at 62, let's say your benefit is X.
Uh-huh.
Are you saying that benefit X goes up if I wait till 63, 64, 65? Each year it goes up?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the maximum you can actually get, so your full retirement age is actually 67 for the most part. You can be 66 and 10 months, 66 and 8 months, et cetera. And I'll explain that to you once we do a review.
Okay.
But for the most part, most individuals post 1960 is 67 years old. That's your full retirement age. That means you're getting 100% of what you're supposed to get in retirement for Social Security benefit. If you wait till 70, then you get an 8% bump on whatever that full retirement age benefit is. Anything below that is not at 100%, obviously, because you're not at full retirement age. So you'll get a reduction in your benefit for every year under that 67. So 62 is the entry point. So yeah, if you can absolutely take your benefit at that point, but you are at the maximum of reduction at 25 to 30%, and it starts to increase every year until you get to 67.
Okay.
At that point in time, it's 100% of your benefit. You're great. If you want to wait, we're going to add, or the IRS or Social Security Administration is going to add up to 8% more if you wait till 70.
Okay, so that scale, one side of the scale goes up and the other one goes down.
Correct.
And this is relational, right? Is that the right word?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Okay, good. All right, so I'm starting to understand this a little bit, I think. I really never knew that it was going to be full of as many pitfalls.
It is, and I do Social Security seminars locally, and one of the things I put out there is there's 1,550 different ways to actually file for Social Security, and really most people understand. You see, you have one opportunity to get it correct. Again, I told you about the mulligan, but most people don't know about the mulligan, so they wait until all of a sudden it's 13 months. Like, I made a mistake, I can't do it because the timings ran out. So a lot of people don't do that. So they really hit that one. I think we talked about this before, and I think you mentioned it's like pin the tail on the donkey type scenario. You're pressing, the thumbtack into the donkey someplace and hope you get it right. Well, sometimes you don't. Most people don't. That's why we try to get a real good timing report.
Okay.
That helps folks understand when they should file efficiently and effectively and gets the most maximum benefit.
That darn pin the tail on the donkey thing, I'm so far off that I try to put the thumbtack into the wall instead of the corkboard. I'm that far off.
I've done that before, yeah, too.
It's like, I'm way over here. People are laughing. I'm like, why are they laughing? Because I'm trying to put that thing into a metal wall at school. Anyway, That's a terrible memory, isn't it? Okay. All right.
So if you're listening right now, and you're wondering when you file how it affects your spouse, you didn't know that Social Security timing actually affects taxes and long-term income, then this is your chance to get clarity. For the next 10 callers, we're going to offer a Social Security timing review with our Financial Fast Track Review, where we will actually identify your optimal filing age, compare lifetime income differences between claiming ages, evaluate survivor and spousal benefit impacts, show how timing affects your tax planning and RMD exposure, reveal how to use the pre-tax or pre-Social Security tax window strategically. This review gives you the clarity and confidence you need to make one of the most important retirement decisions of your life. So, Jackie, tell the listeners how to get one of these spots.
Get your very own Financial Fast Track Review with Tod Long at 888-548-0409, 888-548-0409. Don't be shy about using the number to call him and book into his calendar. That's a special number that we have set up just for the radio show, so you'll get priority on Todd's calendar. 888-548-0409. And we're about to talk about emotional versus the strategic decision. And this is why you want somebody who is not emotionally tied to your Social Security. We'll explain all that coming up.
Feeling like just another number with your advisor? At Long Financial Services, you're always valued personally. Tod Long knows your retirement isn't about numbers on a page. It's about income you can depend on, security you can trust, and advice tailored specifically to you. Take the first step toward a meaningful conversation. Call 888-548-0409. Proudly serving Oklahoma. Again, that's 888-548-0409.
So this is an important point about our Social Security claiming strategy. That's exactly what our whole show is about today. You're listening to Financial Fast Track with Tod Long. I'm Jackie Selby. Now, this happened to my coworker, Todd. He was out of work at 62 and needed the income. So he claimed Social Security. The next year at 63, went back to work. And now he's 72 or 3, and he still hasn't made up that money.
Yeah.
are they ever going to give it to him? Because
Yeah.
they docked his Social Security because he went back to work.
Yeah, they will give it to him eventually. But he just got an earnings test shock is what that is.
Earnings test. Okay.
Yeah, earnings test. So if someone actually takes Social Security before full retirement, so again, I mentioned it's 67, sometimes it's 66 and 8 months, et cetera, but continues to work, the earnings test can temporarily withhold part or all of their monthly benefit if income exceeds a certain limit. And that limit changes every year, and it's very low. I think this
like
year's
24 grand or something.
$23,400 is what it is in 2025.
Okay.
It goes up to maybe $24,000 in 2026.
That's not a lot of money.
It's not a penalty by any stretch of the imagination, but it surprises a lot of people who don't expect their checks to shrink or disappear. For anyone earning reasonable income, again, anything over $24,000 in their 60s, delaying benefits can often avoid this source of frustration, entirely.
Don't you have a hotline down to Washington, D.C.? We can, up to Washington, we could get on the horn and talk to them and say, listen, leave us all alone. If we want to claim it, let us claim it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And continue working, because think about it, we put into the system.
Yeah, great. You can take the money, but the Social Security doesn't want you to continue to earn bigger money and take the benefit, because that's, in their opinion, I'm assuming, and this is just me, my hypothesis, I should say.
Okay.
They think you're double dipping.
Oh.
Yeah. So you're getting the Social Security benefit and you're paying into it when you're working. So why do that? So, but if you actually have a plan for Social Security timing, then you can avoid all of that.
Okay.
We can explain everything, how it works, why you should file or not, why you should delay or not, avoid the earnings test. There's also another thing called provisional income. We can explain that to you as well.
Okay.
And how that interacts with all your planning, because that affects IRMAA, it affects Medicare. It makes all kinds of different things. So there's a lot of different things we got to do when it comes to Social Security acceptance or benefits.
It all is part of the plan. All of these little details, 888-548-0409. Call Todd and say, listen, oh my goodness, what is this provisional income thing? 888-548-0409. Why doesn't the government leave us alone? 888-548-0409. We're all just trying to make ends meet over here. But without a strategy, you could be losing and leaving a lot of money on the table, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
And also, I will point out, there's one opportunity that a lot of retirees actually miss, and that by delaying your Social Security income often opens up low income windows for tax brackets. Typically, the years between retirement and before benefit begins, you're at your lowest tax bracket. That window can be used for strategic Roth conversions, controlled IRA withdrawals to reduce future RMD burdens, managing tax brackets more effectively, and actually lowering lifetime taxes overall. So once Social Security starts, that flexibility tightens and planning options diminish. So this tax window is one of the most powerful retirement tools people often consistently overlook.
888-548-0409, 888-548-0409.
Retirement means a new phase of life, and managing risk is crucial. At Long Financial Services, Tod Long and his team build comprehensive strategies designed to minimize risk, generate reliable income, and help you stay proactive through every market condition. Discover what your retirement plan could look like. Call 888-548-0409. Again, that's 888-548-0409.
Cookie Cutter Financial, how may I help you?
Hey, it's Mr. Johnson. Can I speak with my advisor?
He's in a meeting.
I really need to speak with him. I'm so worried about all the volatility.
Yes, Mr. Johnson, I'll make sure he gets the message.
2 days later.
Cookie Cutter Financial.
Yeah, Johnson again. No call back. I really need to speak to him.
He's in a meeting?
4 days later.
Cookie Cutter Financial.
Johnson here. I really, really, really need to speak with my advisor.
He's in a meeting? A meeting? Meeting?
He's in a meeting? He's in a meeting? In a meeting? In a meeting?
He's in a meeting. He's in a meeting.
Having trouble reaching your financial advisor? You deserve better. At Long Financial Services, your retirement matters, not just sometimes, but all the time. Tod Long and his team believe in open communication and timely advice because your financial future shouldn't have to wait. Call 888-548-0409 today to connect with a team that truly cares about your retirement. Proudly serving the Oklahoma City area. Again, that's 888-548-0409.
People are emotional when they think about their money, when they make decisions based on their emotions to do with their money. Don't you think, Todd? It's it could cost you a lot of money.
It does. And traditionally, and this is not just with Social Security, but with every income bucket, I'm gonna call them, or everything in your portfolio, people make emotional decisions with that instead of strategic ones.
True.
And that costs, sometimes them hundreds, if not millions of dollars when they make those kind of emotional decisions. Mm-hmm. So what I've seen is that one of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to Social Security is they're making it in an emotional stance versus a strategic one.
Right.
Fear drives early claiming more than anything else in this whole Social Security environment. The fear the system will collapse, fear of missing out, or fear they won't actually live long enough. But decisions driven by fear almost always come with regret. But when you look at it, from an actual longevity data, life expectancy tables, income projections, delaying often produces far stronger long-term outcomes than just emotionally doing it at 62.
Mm-hmm. It's the rumor mill, isn't it?
Yeah.
People are like, okay, I've heard that the Social Security is going away. It's not going away.
It's not.
Because they would have a run on Washington, D.C. of people in their little scooters and pitchforks.
Exactly, yeah.
And,
I remember I think it was in high school. This was like the, late 80s. People saying Social Security is not going to last a long period of time. And I'm thinking, wow, you know what? I gotta get my stuff together. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to have no Social Security. And here I am, 55 years old. And guess what? Social Security is still here. It's still the same concept, the same discussion in Congress and in Washington, D.C. about, is it going to be here? It's not. That rumor mill is not. Get that out of your mind. Mm-hmm. Social Security is going to be around. And while it's here, let's be strategic about the usage of it. Mm-hmm. That's what I try to do for my clients. You know what? Let's kill the noise. Let's just make sure you file your Social Security how you need to file it for your particular situation, period.
888-548-0409 is Todd's number. Gosh, I can't emphasize this enough how important it is. 888-548-0409. But to do with our retirement plan and our, planning our monies for the last 1/3 of our lives, whatever you want to call it, this can be an emotional decision because people don't want to accept the fact that their monies need to stretch. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'll just do what the neighbor did. But the neighbor doesn't have the same amount of money as you, didn't have the same work history as you, doesn't have the same spouse as you, doesn't have the same anything as you.
Absolutely. And it's okay to be emotional about it. Let me not say you can't. But what I'm here for is to make sure you have clarity through all that emotion, right? And that clarity comes with math. It comes with logic. It comes with having a strategy. It comes with, putting a plan together. And you can have this plan. It's a consistent plan. We can, it will say consistent. You got to change it every year because it's what the environment changes every day. And so we want to make sure your plan stays up to speed with everything that's changing all around us all the time. Social Security is no different. And so I this is what I try to do with my planning is making sure that, you can be emotional about it. But I want to give you clarity. And I'm going to have a plan strategically around what you technically need. So you can be as emotional as you want to, but as long as you stick to that plan, you're good to go.
Good. Here's the number again to reach Todd, 888-548-0409. You could also check out our landing page, financialfasttrackradio.com, financialfasttrackradio.com. You could hear this show again. You could hear the other shows that we've done. Financialfasttrackradio.com, a nice little landing page we have set up for the program. All right, taxes. Are we closing the tax window too early if we claim too early?
So, claiming early often shuts down the retirement income window. And that's the low income years when Roth conversions, IRA withdrawals, and RMD reduction strategies are the most effective. When you turn on Social Security too soon, your income rises, your flexibility drops, and long-term tax planning becomes very hard. Many families lose tens of thousands in lifetime tax savings because they didn't understand this interaction. So it's highly important to have a conversation with myself, even others, if you don't want to go with me, about how to file for your Social Security the correct way, the most efficient way, so you won't miss this opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Todd, it's probably because I work with mostly men, and they tell me that their wives retired earlier than they did if they worked outside the home with a big career. Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Right.
But
I see that too.
Yeah. They claim the Social Security, the wife does, at 62 or 63. Now, how does that strategy affect the couple? Could that have been delayed so that they could Roth convert?
Yes, because with household income, whatever money is coming in from the Social Security is going to be part of that your
part of your
W-2.
income.
Yeah, part of your income.
That's it.
So
and you're taxed on that.
Exactly. Yes, you are taxed on it to a degree, and because we didn't really talk about earnings tests and provisional tests, where the provisional test or provisional income forces, if it's over a certain threshold, up to 85% of your tax or your Social Security benefit is taxable. So that's another whole thing we haven't really talked about. That we talk about it in our reviews.
Okay.
But provisional income is that makes your Social Security benefit taxable up to 85%. Sometimes it's 50%. Sometimes it's 0%, depending on how much you make. So going back to your scenario, that can possibly impact taxes on your Social Security benefit, but it also increases your tax bracket. And when you increase your tax bracket, and that's what I'm trying to say, when you have low income coming into the household, you are obviously in a lower tax bracket, at which point in time you can go up to that maximum amount in that tax bracket, call it 12%, whatever it may be. And you can actually start doing your Roth conversions from that in that tax bracket and still be in that 12% tax bracket and be comfortable. But once you flip to having Social Security coming in, you can go from 12% to 14%, whatever it is. I don't know how my percentage is in front of me right now, but you'll be able to, you'll jump that tax bracket. And then when you take in Social Security, your pension and everything else, that starts to increase your tax bracket even more. And so you've missed the opportunity when you have a low tax bracket. You're very comfortable at 12%, 10%, whatever it may be. You can go up to that maximum tax bracket dollar amount, do that conversion, still be in that tax bracket, still be comfortable, still be good, and start to reduce that RMD burden at before 73 hits. So there's lots of positives to do it, but a lot of people don't.
Right. So this is kind of a sweet spot, isn't it?
Absolutely a sweet spot. Yes.
That early 60s thing.
Yes.
Before claiming Social Security, take some money right out of the IRA or whatever. That's
if you need to. Yeah. Well, if you
convert it.
Yeah, I can convert it. Yeah. If you want to take your an early 60s before you take Social Security, and before RMD age, it was to 73. That's when that's the sweet spot right now, because your tax brackets are probably going to be 12%, or lower, and you can go up to that maximum tax bracket dollar amount. You can convert that from your IRA or whatever qualified money you have, and that automatically starts to reduce that RMD hit that you're going to get at 73. And over lifetime, your tax burden starts to decrease. I think I probably mentioned I did a gentleman for a Roth conversion. He was like in his late 50s, 59 and a half, almost 60. And I think he's got like 2 million or something like that in his qualified account. And once I showed him how much tax savings, which is roughly about $900,000, almost $1 million over his lifetime in tax savings by doing a Roth conversion in the window right now before age 73. I mean, that's mind blowing. Who doesn't want to save money in taxes? And that's not even including the money once it passes to his beneficiaries. Once he passes away, Now this money is all tax-free because it's in some sort of Roth or whatever it may be. So there's no taxes on it. So we're going to save an additional $300,000-$400,000 in taxes because the beneficiaries don't have to pay that tax on that qualified money. So there's lots of different things you can actually do in this window that you should take advantage of if you are in that window.
Right. And so in other words, the Social Security decision does not exist in a vacuum.
It does not.
This is part of your plan.
Correct. It interacts with the IRAs, investment withdrawals, Medicare premiums, tax brackets, RMD, survivor income. Treating it as a standalone decision is one of the biggest planning mistakes retirees make. When Social Security is integrated properly into a complete refined income plan, the results can be dramatically better by leaving everything isolated.
Great. And could you talk to folks about getting in to see you? Because, I don't know, I got about a minute left on here. And reiterate that for folks so that they can understand how important it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're listening right now and thinking, I don't want to make one of these mistakes. I don't realize timing, or I didn't realize timing, affects so many areas of retirement. I want to know, the right filing age with confidence. Then this is your opportunity to get clarity. For the next 10 callers, we're offering a Social Security timing review where we will identify your optimal filing age, compare multiple timing strategies with real numbers, evaluate spousal and survivor benefit impacts, analyze tax implications, RMD interaction, and earning test exposure, integrate Social Security into your full retirement income plan. This review gives you clarity, direction, and a strategy you can actually rely on. So, Jackie, tell the listeners how they can get one of these spots.
888-548-0409. 888-548-0409. This is Financial Fast Track with Tod Long, and you can get your Financial Fast Track review at 888-548-0409.
Is your retirement plan starting to feel generic? You're unique. Your retirement strategy should be too. At Long Financial Services, Tod Long customizes each plan specifically around you, your life, and your goals. For a personalized review of your retirement, call 888-548-0409. Proudly serving Oklahoma. Again, that's 888-548-0409.
Financial Fast Track with Tod Long on the radio every single week to give you tidbits and maybe shine a light on something you had not considered when planning for your retirement, your Social Security claiming strategy, which is what we're doing today. I've got Tod Long here. I'm Jackie Selby. Now, Tod, you talked about the fact that Social Security, it's not just like your monthly check, set it and forget it, right? It's a lever, if you will, that affects everything else. Taxes and investments. We went over part of this. Even Medicare premiums. What?
So, Medicare premiums actually increase as your income increases. IRMAA, which is the income-related monthly adjustment amount. You probably heard IRMAA before, didn't know what it was, but that's kind of what it is. Those surcharges can actually add hundreds, even thousands of dollars per year to Medicare Part B and D premiums. So many retirees actually accidentally trigger IRMAA because they turn on Social Security too early. That raises their income at the same time they were drawing from retirement accounts. So by delaying Social Security, retirees often maintain lower income earlier in retirement, allowing them to actually stay under that IRMAA threshold and avoid those expensive surprises. IRMAA IRMAA planning actually is tax planning. And Social Security timing directly affects that tax planning.
Wow. The IRMAA, I don't like her at all.
A lot of people don't. She comes up and knocks on the door like unexpectedly a lot.
Poor old IRMAA. I know that this has affected a friend of mine. She filed for Social Security, and she gets a pension, and her husband gets two pensions. Probably talked about her before, from the military, also from the post office. Now he's 70, so he waited for Social Security. All this stuff, combines to make their household income higher. So her Medicare Part B on her first year filing, she's like, why am I paying $500 a month for Medicare Part B? Yeah. Well, it's because your income is up.
Exactly. One of the things I do when I do my strategies and processes for conversions and rollovers, et cetera, is I make sure IRMAA thresholds are in check. Because if we start to, that's what we look at your tax brackets, et cetera, to determine that. We also have the brackets for IRMAA to make sure that if it goes above this, either I'm going to let you know, if you do this rollover currently right now, this is going to trigger this. We don't try to do that. So we want to make sure that we do less than those triggers. But we have all that data and we actually implement that when we do our strategies.
This is good to know because you don't want to trigger a tax event. Just when you're starting your retirement, you're big into getting your Medicare. Oh, boy, I get my Medicare at 65.
Right.
But then you're adding all this income, and this is going to affect your Part B, which I think is a shame. I really wish that but I'm not running the government.
Yeah. Yeah, nor am I. I'm just trying to interpret what they're doing.
Well, I think you do a good job because of the Social Security claiming strategy, as you mentioned, there's 1,500 pages in the book or what?
I don't even know. I just know that there's 1,550 different ways to file, and that can be very confusing. And nobody that I know really talks to how to file properly and efficiently and effectively to give you the maximum benefit. So I've done a lot of research, and I've gotten myself tied into some third-party tools that help me determine when and how to help people file correctly and get the most money for them.
It's a good gosh darn thing you do because you said third party because the first party is also Social Security Administration.
They don't help you.
No. When you call them up, they're not going to give you advice on when to claim. They're just simply going to tell you at this age you'll get this money if you continue earning this money that you're earning right now.
That's exactly right.
That's all they're allowed to do, and that doesn't help you really. Then you're still sucking your thumb, thinking, "I want to go back to my mommy because I don't understand this."
Yeah, a lot of people when I talk to them, they called and got appointments with Social Security, et cetera, and they'll go to the Social Security Administration office and they'll have a conversation. They'll fill out the application form, et cetera, or start it online. And then that application just gets put into a process file and that's it. There's no real questions. Is this the optimal thing for me to do? Does this fit with my Roth conversion strategy? Does it fit with my income strategy? Does it fit with my investment strategy or my pension, or my IRMAAs, my Medicare? Does it fit with all those things? They don't know. That's why you have to talk to somebody like myself, figure all that right there out, tell you exactly when you should be able to file.
Sure. And there's nothing, if you work at the Social Security Administration, we love you. And you're doing very hard work to work with the public each and every day. So we're not slagging you. We're just, saying that it's a frustrating decision if you aren't in the know. How about that? That was safe, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they're also they're not financial planners.
No.
Right. So, they're working there and their probably job description is I'm going to take these applications like I'm supposed to.
Yes. Make
sure you fill out all the information correctly and I'm going to file the application.
Do my job.
And do my job. Right. So that there's no that's not nuanced, right? Sometimes you have a nuanced type situation, whether it be I have these kind of genetics, I have a life expectancy of this right here. I've worked periodically for however long, and I have a spouse that does all those things. I take into account. They don't have to,
right? Because they have 15,000 other people
to deal
every
with
day,
right?
Hammering them for the basics.
Yeah.
Did I
fill out the application correctly? Did I do this correctly? Why isn't it done here? That's what they're doing there. That's what they're doing.
I know. It's just like my heart goes out to them, anyone working there. And also, at the DMV, they aren't allowed to step out of their zone to give you extraneous information beyond their framework,
right.
Like the guy at the picture taking at the dang DMV. I go, listen, I want a better picture than that.
Oh, come on now, Jackie.
You caught me when I was going or something like that. Can I lean forward or look thinner? And he goes, don't smile. During COVID, I got one, and they're like, don't smile. They didn't want anyone smiling. I'm like,
really?
I look like a criminal if I don't smile.
That's interesting. I did mine through 2020 as well, my new renewal. And they didn't care that I smiled.
They didn't?
No, I mean, not at all.
I was in Nevada at the time. I don't know. I was like, I look like Queen Victoria if I don't smile.
Yeah.
She never smiled in pictures. All right, Todd. A slight distraction there. Now, Todd is going to help you strategize all this. If I haven't given you a number lately, it's 888-548-0409, 888-548-0409. And the reason you want to call and get onto his schedule is he'll help you. He's going to help you strategize this and so many other gosh darn things when it comes to planning for retirement. And don't you agree? The bottom line is to start sooner than later.
Sooner than later, what?
To strategize your Social Security claiming.
Absolutely. Because I was like, well, Jackie, we've been telling people you don't have to do it at 62.
Yeah, right. You don't want to land on Todd's schedule once you've already claimed this thing for 2 years.
Yeah, right. The planning sessions start long before
All right.
you file. So if you're 59 and a half or you're 58 thinking about retirement at some point in time, or you're 61 or 62 and you just retired, let's talk about that, because retirement income, when it comes to Social Security benefit, it doesn't come from one single source, right?
Okay.
It includes your IRAs, it includes Roth accounts, your pensions, brokerage investments, real estate, annuities, part-time work, and Social Security. So when retirees coordinate these things together, which takes time, they create a more tax-efficient, stable, and sustainable plan. Social Security becomes the anchor that supports the entire strategy. And so what?
There you go. It's the anchor.
It's the anchor. And technically, most retirees have never had their income analyzed holistically. And once they see the integrated picture with all the different sources that you have, again, the RRAs, the Roth accounts, the pensions, et cetera, put all that stuff together, the clarity can be transformative if you really are open to it. A lot of people aren't, but if you're open to it, man, it can be life-changing.
Okay, this is kind of a jump to another part of this, but how does waiting to claim later, 67 or 70 even, like my friend, he waited till 70, how does this reduce the pressure on other investments in somebody's portfolio?
Yeah, so that is what's called a sequence of returns risk, and we kind of talked about that in last week's episode.
I still kind of don't get it. Sequence of return risk. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's one of the biggest threats in retirement. This is a danger of experiencing poor market performance early in retirement, while at the same time you're withdrawing from those investments. Social Security timing plays a powerful stabilizing role in that process. So when retirees delay benefits, they actually rely more on assets early, but reduce withdrawals later on once higher Social Security income begins.
Okay.
So this reduces the exposure to the market volatility when portfolios are most vulnerable. Larger future Social Security checks act as insurance against that long-term market risk.
Okay. I like the sound of that. Now, all of this is starting to soak in, believe it or not, and I'm the one sitting here. So anyway, I got about a minute left. Let's wrap up this show, Tod Long.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're actually listening right now and thinking, I did not realize timing affects taxes, investments, and Medicare, or I want to coordinate a plan that actually tells me the best filing age, or I want confidence that all my income sources work together, then this is your moment for clarity. For the next 10 callers, we're offering a Social Security coordination review where we will identify your optimal filing strategy, model tax outcomes and RMD impact across different timing choices, analyze IRMAA exposure and Medicare-related costs, coordinate portfolio withdrawals with timing decisions, build an integrated retirement income plan you can rely on. This review removes the guesswork and gives you a coordinated strategy tailored to your life. Jackie, tell the listeners how to get one of these spots.
Amen. 888-548-0409. You said the word. It's a coordinated Social Security review, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Wow.
Social Security coordinated review.
Ding dong. 888-548-0409. Todd, you put a lot of work into this. I appreciate everything you do, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Talk to you soon.
investment advisory services offered through Tod Long, a registered investment advisor. During this show, Tod Long provides general information, not individually targeted personalized advice, and is not liable for the usage of information discussed. Exposure to ideas and products or services should not be considered investment advice or a recommendation to buy or sell any of these financial vehicles. This information should also not be considered tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a professional specializing in the fields of tax, legal, accounting, or investments regarding the applicability of this information for their situation. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments will fluctuate, and when redeemed, may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Any comments regarding safe and secure investments and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not in any way refer to securities or investment advisory services. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing company and are offered through Tod Long. By contacting Tod Long, you may be provided information regarding the purchase of insurance products.